I'm Adrian Lyons, this is Pete Macdougall, I'm a partner, I'm from Canamble. I'm a grain producer, about 12,000 acres of cropping, so hence why this app has been developed. Pete's a farmer from down near Burrawa. I saw a need in the industry for, rather than using the carbon book, I think everyone's a bit sick of losing the book or the ineligible writing from your agronomist, like doctor's writing. So when you've got to see that the guy who's operating your spray units in the farm, he's the one who's actually got to read it. Now, he's uneducated or he's dyslexic or both. You've really got to have something that's easy and legible for him to read because of the damage that can be done by spraying. We wanted to do it to diversify from our industry. Grain prices aren't so great at the moment, so in my need as having ADD, I've got to have something else to do. So we love to write code writers and running this business all over Australia. We have 2 applications in agriculture, and that's the Agro App for agronomists. It's a recommendation service, and we also have the Spray App, which is what Tom's been using for the last few months. Agro is basically specific for recommendations. Pete's sort of showing you a report in the background, which we will drive through in a second. But it's specific for recommendations. Also, it has the value add for property planning. What we're finding is it's a big, huge time saver. We've got 3 of our testimonials or our beta testers out in the field. Greg Rummery from Wildwood, Jim Colquhoun from Yass, Delta Agribusiness, they've got 10 iPads there. Now, they're seeing a saving of 10 to 15 hours per week, not having to go back to the office. I just talked to a guy outside there, he reckons he can write quicker than he can drive our app. Look, I'd like to toss him for that because we can drive that app very quickly and it's legible. You don't have to write much unless you're putting notes. We're trying to make it so it's only a one-touch move. We had it down to 4 and 5 moves into the app and drilling down, but we find that was where the time was wasting. If we couldn't get it to move quicker than a pen, well, really, you're going to put that under your seat of your car. So we're able to sort of look at the time saving. If you look at our website and do a bit of if you're a private agronomist or you work for a company, you've got to be able to look at how many hours a week that's worth to you. And Pete might be bringing that up. But at 15 hours a week, if you're able to spend that out in the paddock, we worked out you can capture another 2,000 to 3,000 acres up in my area of Canamble.
What's the average salary in the room?
Average salary in the room would be about 60, 50. No one's smiling yet.
Bidding 45, yes or no?
Okay, they're making 10 grand a week.
Yeah. 120 or too late. Let's go 60,000. You're worth 52 cents a minute. If you just use 2 hours a day, just going home, duplicating paperwork and doing your echoes that you've already inspected, $14,976 or $60,000 of that year spent doing what you've already done.
So go home and test that because you will find it is correct. So if you're working for a company, they want to see dollar value, but if you're working for yourself, you want to be able to say that you're not going back to the office completely writing out all the time your recos from the day. And with Greg Rummery, he said now he sits down and has a wine with his wife, and emotionally it's better for him, but he's actually doing more agronomic work at night time rather than doing recos, which drives him insane. It does not need to be live with our app. You can't import into an app. You can export out of our application to CSV. We're doing some work with Back Paddock and complement what they've been doing, and there's some synergies that are coming there for us to be able to, for an agronomist point of view, we're working on sending through the rates, which we're going to run through in a sec, or from a spraying point of view, it's an actual that's happened and being able to send it to Back Paddock or any other application or your own Excel. A lot of people build their own Excel spreadsheets for their farms, so it complements those things. You've got the cloud. You don't have to buy a 64 gigabyte iPad. You just buy the 16. We're working on iCloud stuff at the moment, so all your memory's held upstairs. Your accountability's there. You know, the carbon's gone. It's PDF generation. It's a legal document that you can sign. It's worldwide. We've had over 10,000 downloads around the world. So I'll run through it with Pete from a start of a farm. We won't go through right down to the settings part, but if we go into a farm there, Pete's going to pick out a paddock for us, and we'll call it Backo, or Bullaway, and he's going to add an inspection.
I've already got the coordinates of the paddock in there that I set just quickly from the app. So if you look at it, that's where we are now. Look at those coordinates. It just sets it from the iPad. Sorry.
You got it.
There you go.
So you've got to add an inspection. You go and you've got to see a growth note for the paddock. And we're going to call it a fallow. It's a summer fallow. We go down to the add pests. And we're going to say some barley grass, barnyard grass, Bathurst spurs, or camel melon, and just say that's what we've got in the paddock at the moment. We're going to add the pests. So we've done that. So the chemical, add the recommendation. You've got your products, herbicide. You add your own chemical list in. You cannot drop down box from anywhere else because of technical Apple trademarking and the whole lot. We can't. That'll be your first question you ask. You make your own list, and it's not that long when you look at it in your own area.
Do it as you go.
Yeah.
Do it as you go. Don't try and do it all at once. Do it as you go. So if you're in it, you haven't got the product there, little plus button, add that chemical in, then keep going. End of the season, you'll have your complete chemicals.
So you're going to use Roundup in the paddock. You're going to put a rate on of about 2 litres to the hectare, and it's already added up your products. So when you're doing this list for the farmer, I've got 23 paddocks. By the time he's finished this recommendation, it's added up all the chemical, it's sent to the merchandise man, he puts it on a pallet, it's ready to go. He doesn't have to go down and organise all that. The agronomist sticks to his agronomy. So we go to the next product, and we might use some herbicide, we might use some Garlon.
Find it there.
14.
There it is.
And we might put it on at 150 mils. That's 1.5. A couple more zeros.
Oh, there we go. We're bills, aren't we?
Zeros. So 150 mils. We want to put on some glean as well. We want to show that you can change all your residuals to red. So any time in the last 4 years or 2 years, especially with plant back, you're able to have a record on your PDF with a red on it. It'll alert you. So we're going to put that on 20 grams to the hectare. Might use some wetter. We might use some surfactant. And we might use that at 0.2%. Okay, done. Everything's in there. 75 litres to the hectare of water. You can change that. We've done it so it's a default setting in your settings. If you want to change it here, you can. We'll go right down to take a picture of the crowd. If there's a problem weeding your paddock and you're not sure, especially with junior agronomists, you can send that back to your boss or someone who needs to know, and you can see what stage that's at and apply the right chemical to it. So if you're a fee-for-service agronomist, put a tax invoice at 30 cents, 35 cents an hectare, and you're able to send that invoice out. So it's done. It's done. So put a preview.
So now we just go back.
So basically you can go over a whole 12 months if you're trying to find out what's happened in the paddock, or you want to pinpoint something that's happened back in November after harvest and you're not sure what chemical went on. You're able to go down and pinpoint that area within the month or within the 12 months. So there's a report about to come up. You can put a signature on it because it's a legal document. You know, you're the advisor. Out in the farm, the spray rig operator or the farmer is the decider. My guy will say 2 litres to the hectare. I'll put it on at 1.5. I'll put it on at 25 litres to the hectare of water. He wants 70. So
that's how your invoice will come out if you're a fee-for-service agronomist. Your invoice will come out, and we've only done one inspection, so that'll come out. But if you do 23 paddocks in a day, you'll have 23 paddocks with a total at the bottom. Tax invoice.
And then you come up with the report. And that's emailed out of the paddock. You don't need service, and it's gone.
There you are.
Show them the CSV.
There's the products.
So it's added up your products.
Signatures.
Estimated price. Don't try and pull it down to exact figures. Don't get that technical. You can hold the sale in the paddock if you're a chemical reseller, but if you're a private agronomist, well, either or. But if you've done that. Yeah. So that's it. That's as quick as it is. It's a very definite report writing recommendation service, so thanks for that.
Can I say one more thing? What some of the blokes that are using it when they are resellers at the same time is that every sort of 6 to 8 weeks the agronomist and the merchandise manager sit down, they bring up the report for a client who they're doing obviously free agronomy work on the proviso that he comes back to the office to pay for it. That they bring up a record, see exactly what he's meant to have bought, and then go through. Has he bought all this chemical from us? How much money have we made from him? Are our margins still there? If not, there's a breakdown somewhere, so we've got to go back and have a look at it. So they're actually streamlining their business at the same time.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, fellas.